Just beyond Guendouzi, Barkley onto it. Ross Barkley looking for Fabregas, Pedro outside him. Chelsea moving well again. Fabregas, Morata was offside anyway.
Right, it's a great little bit of build-up play as well. It all comes from Ross Barkley. Gets his head up, sees a number of players forward. Fabregas, Pedro. I'd just like to see Pedro whip that across that 6-yard area. I think if he does, Morata's got a tap in, but he chooses just for that little cut back for Fabregas. I mean, my decision from sitting up is easy to say from sitting up here, but to flash that across the box, that's what the centre forward is. That's what he's paid for, to get in there and have a tap in.
Nonetheless, they're moving well, and a very impressive first 10 minutes overall from Chelsea. A Chelsea side where the scrutiny is at its highest at the moment. Fears in some quarters that this could be the year that it all falls apart, but they've not started here tonight in that vein.
I tell you what, they've started so well. They really have got out the traps, and you know, you've got to think that Sarri's going to bring that into this team. He wants that intensity in his football and out of his players.
Barkley, so gifted, so much to give. Lee, I believe you spent a little bit of time over the summer with Ross Barkley. What was his state of mind?
Yeah, I spoke to him. I was in Dubai and I bumped into him and had a good 15-20 minutes from an older head that's probably been there and not done it at times. And I sort of give him a few words of wisdom that I think he is, no doubt, a quality. Such a young player still. I mean, he's got so much at his feet, and he's got another chance going into this Chelsea side. And you know, he did state that he did struggle with injuries quite a lot, but this is a fantastic opportunity for him this season.
Socrates. Mustafi. Guendouzi trying to set the tempo here. Only a handful of games at Lorient before this big move to Arsenal, but you wouldn't know it. It's beyond Smith Rowe by Kolasinac.
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't. He's not shy of going and getting it off the back four at all, especially off the two centre half times. He's dropping into that centre half role. He wants the ball. That's a fantastic sign for such a youngster who hasn't got a lot of experience.
Of course, the one player not involved for Arsenal for several months to come will be Laurent Koscielny as he continues his recovery. Here's Rudiger, looking to very firmly claim one of the centre-back spots for Chelsea. He's not put a foot wrong, and neither has this young man, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Barkley. Azpilicueta has the scurry after this. Fabregas. Rudiger knows all about Aubameyang from their time playing against each other in Germany. Switch by Luis, and Pedro won't get that.
I was just going to say, well, Chelsea look in possession, they look so comfortable, and then David Luiz puts one out.
But is that because Arsenal are not forcing the issue against them, Lee?
Well, I mean, there's one thing I would have said about Emery, that he would go in there and he would push these Arsenal players to get in the faces of players, and I haven't seen that in his first 12 minutes. I expected to. I just think that, you know, you've got to think that you can't give these boys time. You cannot at all, because they would just punish you. And if Arsenal are going to go anywhere this season, that's where they need to really pick up their act. They really do.
I suppose in mitigation we should possibly point to the absence. Jorginho won't be faced by doing that. He used to do that all the time at Napoli. But we should perhaps, in fairness to Arsenal, point to the late defection here of Aaron Ramsey, who in a sense would be the leader. And at the last minute he doesn't start. And they're getting caught out again and again. Bellerin's again on the back foot. Hudson-Odoi's gone over. It's a penalty to Chelsea. And the young man, frankly, has had Bellerin on toast here so far.
Absolutely unbelievable. And I tell you, he has got so much energy and pace. Look at where he runs from. He wants to get past Bellerin. Look at the pace on him. Just gets in a fantastic position. It's a great little, faces him off, fakes to shoot. Bellerin's got to do better. He's got to stay on his feet in the box. Otherwise, you're going to give silly penalties and free kicks away, which you cannot do throughout the season.
Arsenal all at sea defensively here at the Aviva Stadium. Now Morata, he's got plenty of tricks in his run-ups. Czech knows most of them. What's he doing this time? Straight forward. Czech is equal to it. And my Arsenal needed that.
Yes, they certainly did, because it was backs against the wall. And they've got to thank the big man in goal, Petr Cech. He knows where he's going. It's not a fantastic penalty really from Morata. I thought he could have put it far in that corner, but Czech's still got to go down and make the save, and he did. He's kept his team in this game.
Arsenal have got to defend this corner better than they've been doing as well, and Morata got to that.
This might just give Arsenal a little bit of a lift from that, because they really haven't got out of the traps. It's a great save from Petr Cech. Still feel Morata's got to do better from that penalty spot.
Given away again, Fabregas. El Neni mopping it up. Jorginho, he's not put a foot wrong so far as a Chelsea player, has he? Keeping it simple.
That's what
neither is this young man. Fabregas making some great forward runs here, Lee, isn't he?
He is, and that's what you want.
Morata missed his header, and that's another Arsenal let-off. It's off Kolasinac for a corner.
I'll tell you what, Hudson-Odoi has been absolutely fantastic this first 15 minutes. Fabregas making runs, what a great little kick out. Sees Morata, again, defensively. Lots of space for Morata to... to have plenty more time and to pick his spot.
Emil Smith-Rowe took a tumble at the back of the penalty box.
It's really a big concern for Arsenal that we've talked at many seasons about this defensive problem that they brought players in. Socrates, who you think is going to come in and do the job. It's a big question mark for me with Arsenal.
Cech can't get to it. Luis with one of those theatrical head-in-hands moments.
He's well known for that, isn't he? And I mean, it's a ball that's bouncing in the 6-yard area, which, again...
By the way, that was a battle of the hairdos, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Nduzi, no slouch in that department. He's done very well overall. That's his restart. That's a good ball. Smith-Rowe has it at his feet. Big success story of Arsenal's pre-season so far. Mesut Ozil with room. Bellerin. El Neni following up. Guendouzi. Bellerin found some room. Marcos Alonso's out to him now. Didn't reach Mkhitaryan. Cut off by Fabregas. Interesting, really, isn't it, Lee? You know, when Chelsea do win it back, Jorginho, he knows what his job in this new team is. He doesn't go forward. He's encouraging the others to go forward, and he's waiting on the edge of his box.
Super, and exactly what he did last season at Napoli, and there's no doubt in my mind that he will be a huge success at Chelsea. And you've stated yourself, he knows what job he's got to do, and he does it so well. And all he's got to do, I mean, you think of Kante being in that midfield as well.
Pedro this time, he's offside.
You know, there's so many players that are going to come in, and all he's got to do is get on the ball and give it to the likes of Hazard, Willian, if they're still obviously at Chelsea at the time. But, I mean, what a fantastic signing he can be.
Not even Aubameyang bothered to chase that one when Arsenal tried to go forward. And normally he does chase nearly everything. They have offered very, very little.
Just think in the form of going forward, you know, when you've got Aubameyang up there with pace, you've got Ozil who hasn't really touched the ball in this first 18 minutes. I just think, you know, the only one who you can come out with a bit of credit is Guendouzi, who's really got on the ball and tried to make them play.
So much space, and Chelsea are fairly ruthlessly exploiting it. Fabregas to Barkley to Hudson-Odoi. Chelsea are flowing here. Cleared in the end by Kolasinac to Ozil. Arsenal needing more involved. Mkhitaryan. El Neni, Aubameyang. Aubameyang showed for it. Wasn't much in the box then for Arsenal. Gets something. Actually, he doesn't. There's a goal kick.
And you're exactly right. I mean, you've got Aubameyang coming out on this left-hand side because there's just nothing where he can get hold of the ball. So you've got to give him credit. He's coming looking for the ball, but you need bodies in the box. As soon as he comes out into that left-hand side, can Ozil go and make that centre forward up that spot? You know, I'm looking at Emile Smith-Rowe on the edge of the box. There's just nothing in there for Arsenal.
Smith-Rowe perhaps finding it a little bit of a step up, the intensity here. You know, it's much more like the regulation Premier League matchup, isn't it, this tonight?
It is, and it's a big step up, and that's when, you know, these are the games where it gives the youngsters a chance to feel it and see if they can step up to the mark to these big games, because the Premier League, we know now, is just getting bigger and bigger and tougher with all the teams that are in and around. But, you know, I mean, these youngsters, they've got to have that little bit of time, and you've got to nurture them into these games.
Federer wasn't inclined to do that then for Guendouzi, was he?
Certainly not.
Emile Smith-Rowe. Back to Mustafi. Socrates to Kolasinac. Guendouzi. El Neni showed for it. Mkhitaryan. Little scene of Mkhitaryan nor Ozil. Smith-Rowe offers himself forward.
This is better from Arsenal, just getting a feeling to the game. I mean, 21 minutes in, and this is the best bit of play Arsenal have had, and they've not really gone anywhere with it, but just getting possession and getting that confidence up.
Mustafi. Bellerin had made headway, and the header down not quite accurate enough. Rudiger. Azpilicueta looking for Morata then. Mkhitaryan blocked his path.
You know, that's the thing when you're getting into that final third. It's great having that possession to build up, but Bellerin's got to do better there. He's got to bring it down and try and bring his players, get his players forward, his midfield, attacking players forward.
Actually, I think Unai Emery was making exactly that point. Chest it down, son. Arsenal have a free kick. Mkhitaryan and Ozil short. Mkhitaryan chased by Pedro. Caballero not needed, got out the way of it.
Getting not many bodies in that box or trying to make any movement. You know, you always want a player coming around that back post, but anything that could leak through the middle of the goal. No one there at all.
Arsenal perhaps just looking to stir the pot here a little bit to become a little bit more animated. It's all been fairly predictable. Time and again, Jorginho is just sitting there and dealing with it. Bit short for Alonso, one back by Bellerin, but Hudson-Odoi in so quick on El Neni, and there's no stopping him. Morata's with him, Morata goes for it, and check again, keeps Chelsea at bay, but only just.
I'll tell you what, that boy has been absolutely a breath of fresh air so far, Hudson-Odoi. He's really, I mean, it's come from his own work rate, where he's won the tackle, and he's got running and facing up against Mustafi, and it's a great little through ball from Morata, great bit of movement, which we talked about. That's what he will love.
Let's see what the movement's like for Arsenal here. Emile Smith-Rowe. El Neni. has found Aubameyang. Bellerin's outside him. Mkhitaryan at least is in the box, but the ball goes back instead.
That's poor. That is very poor. And that sums up Arsenal's first half so far. Really does. Talked about these little areas, but I mean, this is a chance for Morata. It's a fantastic save by Cech, who's kept him in the game. You know, you've got to take your hat off to him. But again, the movement of Morata is causing problems.
The recent pattern of life at Chelsea, Lee, win a title and then drop right out of the limelight. Here's Lacazette getting a big hand. But as for Chelsea, they don't like it when people mention, you know, well, Conte wound everybody up last season at this stage, didn't he? The Mourinho season effect. But what he meant by that was win the title and then drop off. Bellerin trying to work inside Alonso. Alonso recovered well. But the way this Chelsea group of players are going about it here tonight, do you think it demonstrates that actually they know they've got to prove themselves all over again?
100%. I think the season they had last season, there was so much talk of Conte leaving. You know, the uncertainty of the squad, the players leaving. I think, you know, they brought the new man in, Sarri, he will ruffle a few feathers. He certainly will. He'll get this Chelsea side back to where it can be, for sure. And like I stated, some of the players that are still to come back into this team. I mean, I'm looking at the youngster out there, Hudson-Odoi, and, you know, you think that you've still got Willian, you've still got Hazard who play in them sort of areas. I mean, what a talent that boy is, and can he keep these players out? That's what you've got to ask yourself, and this is the opportunity for these young players.
They've been mighty impressive here, it must be said. Barkley. So high is the standard, of course, that even when they do win a trophy, it's like, well, that was a season to forget. That happened last year, didn't it?
It is, and that just shows the expectation of the club. It's not a massive club. They expect to win trophies, they expect to win titles, and with the players they've got, they should be competing every season. That's for sure.
Well, they're certainly proving themselves here, and it's been quite the test for Arsenal.
And as I just haven't seen that attacking threat from Arsenal. I haven't seen them even put a ball in behind the back four of Chelsea at all, and put Angerman in there. We know he's got pace. Can he ask questions? Can he make Chelsea drop? I mean, look at the high line that Chelsea are playing at the moment. And that's with someone who's got pace.
But it also says it's for a coach who is making his mark on them already, the new man.
Yeah, it is. And he stated, listen, he will definitely get this side back to where it can be. You know, it's going to be such a frantic season. Liverpool are spending a few quid. They're really, you know, bringing some quality, adding to that quality of the squad that they've got already. But you just think Arsenal can they do it this season? There's a big question mark still.
Well, there's a big question mark in this game, to be honest with you. Guendouzi got lucky. El Neni. Back to him by Ozil. Ozil beginning to pop it around a little bit. Here he goes.
He's just dropped into them little pockets, hasn't he?
Aubameyang. Ball just died in him slightly, but Smith Rowe had the moment then to follow up on the fine impression that he has made so far.
Yeah, and you look at that little bit of movement from what I said. Angerman just trying to get in behind that back two, if you like, of David Luiz, just peeling off him. And the ball just falling for Smith Rowe, just can't get his head over it. It's a tough one for him to take on, but fair play to him for having a strike from there. That's their best moment so far.
A more threatening position anyway.
And it just shows Ozil coming on and getting a little bit into this game and trying to pick little passes out, which we know he can do that.
So past Peliqueta. Mustafi. Bellerin. Smith Rowe. Mkhitaryan. Guendouzi. All been played in front of Chelsea at the moment. Smith Rowe. Patient at least by Arsenal. Here's Bellerin. Alonso did well. Guendouzi there ahead of Hudson-Odoi.
This last 10 minutes have seen quite a bit of the ball. Possession stats have certainly picked up with Arsenal.
Now Aubameyang lays it off, one of them drives on. Kolasinac. Rudiger and Luis push Chelsea up. If you're Arsenal, I know how well Chelsea are defending here, Lee, but if you are Arsenal, you've got to remain patient, haven't you? No point forcing it.
Yeah, you have to, and that's what's happening. Spot on there. I mean, great timing from a pass that's just ended up being nothing. And yes, you have got to keep the ball. You have got to frustrate this Chelsea side, because the work rate that Sarri wants to bring to this side, they will win the ball back and they will punish you. So yeah, you've got to get hold of the ball and you've got to get a firm hold of the game.
That's a little bit of the old Mesut Ozil. Mkhitaryan in space. Options here are plenty. Aubameyang. El Neni. Cleared by Rudiger.
And it's a great bit of build-up play, I think. And then he's just looked up as if to say, leave that for me, I'm coming, man. And obviously he's tried to have a touch. And it's fizzled away from just nothing really. But good play. Again, good build-up play. Worked it to where they've got to get to. Just open little doors that obviously Chelsea have kept so secure so far.
Also, we're in danger of being swept away here by the sea in Dublin at the Aviva Stadium early on, but having a better spell now. Guendouzi, Mkhitaryan, it might reach Bellerin and he didn't use it that well. Hudson-Odoi picked it up. Morata, Pedro wanted it played early. Morata goes away from Mustafi and he actually made the best of that, to be honest.
He certainly did as well. And Hudson-Odoi, anywhere just in that final third of the left-hand side, if he just slips anything, doesn't even have to be a great pass, slips him in. This is the earlier chance for Arsenal. But those beggars, a fantastic ball across from El Neni, good defending from Rudiger.
Czech picked out Smith Rowe well, and he picked out Will well. Now, can Arsenal get at this fairly formidable Chelsea back four? Mkhitaryan, it's a great ball by him, and Aubameyang missed it, but much more like it from Arsenal.
I'll tell you what a fantastic ball that was from Mkhitaryan. Great build-up play, and it all come from Petr Cech's goal. He's played a ball in to the youngster Smith Rowe, who plays a great ball into Ozil, and it's just from back to front, and what a chance that is from Aubameyang. You'd expect him to just tap it in at that far post, but great play from Arsenal.
They have come to life.
Finally.
Yeah. Socrates won the header, but it's picked off by Barkley ahead of Guendouzi. Pedro wants it. Stopped by Kolasinac. Cut and thrust here once more in the International Champions Cup between these long-standing rivals. Two of the big three, if you like, in London at the moment, and every game between Arsenal and Chelsea has an edge. Arsenal had the better of the cup ties in recent years and righted the scales a little bit with a couple of draws in the Premier League. after some years where I think it's only fair to say Chelsea always fancied it against Arsenal.
They always do. There's certainly a game on now. You've seen the Arsenal that we expected to see from the start.
Barkley. Pedro was carted out of the way. Hudson-Odoi has been making the difference. Morata misses that one.
Hudson-Odoi is absolutely giving Bellerin such a tough time. He really is. Every time he gets the ball, Bellerin looks scared to death to go anywhere near him. And it's a great run from Fabregas, who just comes round and gives him the option to slide in, but he chooses Morata. I'd like to see him actually cut in another shot himself, because he's certainly got the edge over Bellerin down that left-hand side.
Do Arsenal look what you thought they would be at this stage of Unai Emery's time in charge? Early weeks, admittedly.
It's a tough one to call, because after that start that I've seen, I've seen some of the games and they've been okay. I'm still expecting a lot more from Arsenal this season. I really am. I know a lot of Arsenal fans, and it's just the expectation of the club, and obviously the change of Arsene Wenger going. You just expect it to be a massive change with the new man coming in and the style of play. But so far, there's been glimpses of it in this first half, but it's took a little bit of a long while to get going, because when you look at it, they could have been 2 or 3 down.
Kolasinac. Ozil keeps Barkley at bay. Guendouzi has a little room. Hits it.
It's the first strike from there. Guendouzi he's really been in the thick of things out there, really, to be honest. He's trying to get on the ball, and again, he's found himself in that more attacking zone. He's took a snapshot from a good 20 yards. I think it takes more than that to be the big man in goal.
Extra competition ahead, of course, in the middle of the park for Arsenal, with the imminent arrival of Lucas Torreira, the Uruguayan international from Sampdoria. But he's not putting a foot wrong, really, is he, the young man?
No, definitely not. He's been bright, he's been lively. Even since they've gone 1-0 down, he's wanting to get on the ball, which is a great sign.
Check out to Kolasinac. Fabregas.
I've got to say, though, the work rate of Chelsea so far has been very good. The intensity that have been brought to this side, you can see that there's a new lease of life in some of these players that are sort of, you thought maybe could be their exit out of Chelsea.
No, very much so. And how strange it must have been for the likes of Fabregas to report back during the World Cup and ask, first question, who's actually in charge? Here's Bellerin, he's made a mess of that.
Yeah, too many times Bellerin down that right-hand side has just been very sloppy in possession. Again, he's finding himself in fantastic areas. You've got to put that in a good area for your centre forward to get on the end of.
Rudiger. Off the chest of Pedro. Morata. And then he saw the chance to slide in then. Morata has it. Stopped by Socrates. Certainly the last 10 or 15 have been more impressive by Arsenal, but then again you might say, Lee, after a rather disappointing beginning, to put it mildly.
Yeah, I think they've certainly stepped up. They really have. This last 15-20 minutes or so, they've started to get on the ball, which we do expect from Arsenal. It's been more like the Arsenal that we know.
Smith Rowe, that's a beautiful idea. Kolasinac, no, but Caballero did well. There might be more to do. Kolasinac might be in a little bit of trouble. He stayed down in that Chelsea penalty box. The game's going on.
Fantastic run from left. He's come all the way down this left side. Great little bit of build-up play as well it was. Smith Rowe, great little back heel into his path. We just hope he's not injured or hurting it, because there was some collision at the end of it. And this is just the patience. Marshall's a great first touch, great little bit of one touch interplay, just overruns it a touch. And then Smith Rowe tries to just hang a little ball up, try and fizz one across, or try and put a bit of pace back into that area. A great bit of one-touch play from the pair of them down this left-hand side.
Great work by Caballero as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. He was off, straight up his line. You know, you need your keeper obviously not being stood still, and he's come straight. It's in the danger, it's in the bad touch. And it was ended up being a 50-50 challenge. Caballero comes out and does very well.
Moving all right, it would appear, happily. Gianfranco Zola, by popular acclaim, returning to work at Chelsea again as the assistant to Maurizio Sarri. Here's Ozil, who has come to life. Mkhitaryan needs to be a bit stronger than that.
Yeah, you can see Ozil's just coming in and dropping, trying to link up with this more attacking-minded player. Mkhitaryan's got to hold that ball up. You can see what Ozil wanted. He wanted to go and get that back.
Aspilicueta to Pedro. Emery doing all the pointing, getting Arsenal into a shape. Pedro. Who's caught then, Pedro. Colasinacci's all apologies.
I'll tell you what, that was a late one as well. It certainly was late. But just at times, you know, when you look at this Chelsea setup and the lineup, I mean, this is his late challenge, but he certainly catches his ankle. He certainly knows what he's doing. Kolasinac does. But just going back to this Chelsea lineup, and you think of the youngster right there, Hudson-Odoi, who's been, for me, by far the best player on the pitch this first half. Is that why aren't they keep getting the ball out to him? Why aren't they keep giving him the ball? Because he certainly got Bellerin all over the place. And I think as a player, when you know you like that, you've seen the way when Bellerin gets forward, he hasn't been himself, because he's more concerned about Hudson-Odoi getting past him or breaking away from him. And I just sometimes you think, why are they not just giving him the ball?
Rudiger to Morata. Jorginho. Here is Hudson-Odoi. Alonso. Jorginho back to him. Alonso just guilty of over-elaborating a little bit. He got away with it. Jorginho again. Hudson-Odoi is on the run. Here he goes. And the flag has stayed down. Hudson-Odoi for Chelsea. Peter Cech did most of the work, and it was finished off by Mustafi. But this young man has been pretty much a different class.
Oh, he's been magnificent. I can't praise him enough at the moment. I mean, it's come from nothing. It's a fantastic ball. And look at the run from Hudson-Odoi. He knows straight away where he's going to be. I mean, he just can't finish it off. I mean, we're probably talking about the two best players on the pitch today so far, and you're talking the goalkeeper, which is Petr Cech, and Hudson-Odoi, who's made a fantastic save. Petr Cech has, in the end.
Now, Rudiger got into hot water earlier, didn't he, at one of the corners? The referee had him on his hit list.
I think it's a little bit of handbags, isn't it? That so many times we've seen in the World Cup that these penalties are getting given so easy. Free kicks, crazy.
You get the final job tonight, the final judgment, no VAR. It's Emile Smith-Rowe, who has also started to make things happen for Arsenal. Again, Aubameyang might have hit that but didn't. Mkhitaryan. Bellerin will get to it. Caballero fumbles it. Kolasinac, he's got narrow angle, and all Arsenal get for that is a corner, as Philip Wector did the all-important mopping up job.
Then it's great build-up play again. Mkhitaryan, Bellerin just making a fantastic run. Got a question Caballero's hands there, but can Kolasinac hit that first time? You know, you're hitting a ball back into an area where it could deflect off anyone and go into the net, but to have that touch just slows everything down and saves Chelsea.
Mkhitaryan's cross, Alonso said it clear. He it was who played Chelsea into trouble, of course.
Good signs for Arsenal.
Fast and furious once more tonight in the International Champions Cup, as we hoped it would be, almost expected it would be, as ever between Arsenal and Chelsea. Chelsea could well be many more than one in front here, but Arsenal have dug in, starting to create and make things happen. Smith Rowe now didn't want to hit it. Mkhitaryan's shot was blocked down by his own man.
I'm just thinking Smith Rowe's got to hit that. He's on the edge of the box. The gap's opened up for him and he's chose to pass it. And it's a great strike that comes off Angerman. He's got no idea of anywhere where it's coming from, but got to shoot himself, the youngster has. Fantastic opportunity. Everything's opened up for him.
Kolasinac is still in a little bit of trouble following that earlier collision with Caballero, I think, but Arsenal have the bit between their teeth in the run-up to half-time, and they have another corner. Hudson-Odoi tracking back on Bellerin.
Yeah, he's asking the question himself now, isn't he, Bellerin? Certainly is.
Well, what a good time this would be for Arsenal to hit back. Not like that, though. Barkley clear.
That full corner. Got to be better. 44th minute and you're getting deliveries in like that. Four. Someone of his quality, you know, you just think he's got to put it in there. His body's in the box. It's so frustrating.
1 additional minute to play here. Kolasinac soldiering on. Socrates. Guendouzi. Not the best from Aubameyang, but as you rightly pointed out, we're not seeing Aubameyang running in between the two centre-backs here, Lee, at all, are we?
No, not at all, and that's probably his strength in his game.
Is that something that Luis and Rudiger have done particularly? Some trick of the trade that they've been able to effect here?
I'm pretty sure they will. They're world-class defenders, so you would think that.
And again, from those positions, Arsenal could have released Mkhitaryan. Aubameyang. This is Aubameyang, but again he comes to the ball. He doesn't run into the space.
Well, you don't want him dropping into the space. You know, you want your centre forward with pace, playing up against that back two, if you like, of Rudiger and David Luiz.
Thank you very much, Lee. It's been splendid stuff here. The early power header by Antonio Rudiger, and Chelsea were good value for that early lead and much more besides. Petr Cech denying Morata from the penalty spot, and Cech has made maybe 4 or 5 other outstanding saves. He is not willing to be pushed aside by the new man, Bernd Leno. That much is clear here. Arsenal improved significantly. They have had chances of their own, but no breakthrough. And at half-time, Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1.
And I think Arsenal have got to be pretty happy with that scoreline, considering the way Chelsea have dominated and the chances they've had, although they have come back into it towards the end of that first half. A couple of legends here alongside me: Dennis Wise, Nigel Winterburn. Maurizio Sarri said he wants to have fun as a Chelsea manager. I think the fans are going to have fun watching this, and you've got a bit of a love thing going on for Jorginho as well.
Jorginho, I thought, has been absolutely outstanding. And there's a young boy out there as well, Hudson-Odoi as well, has been totally outstanding. But I love the way that he calls people about and how he presses the situation and works it out quickly. I've been very impressed with him. I've also been impressed with Chelsea in the way that they played, to be honest. I think they look really compact, and the way that they played, they seem to know everything that they need to do. And it's quite impressive, really, in a short period of time, in the organisation, the way that they press so high and the way that they've gone about their jobs. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this second half.
Let's talk about organisation from an Arsenal point of view, Nigel. You've been pulling your hair out at times, haven't you, watching that?
Yeah, I have, because the way that Arsenal have tried to play, particularly early on in the game, they went for a full press. They went in. They were running around, but it was almost a little bit like headless chickens. When you go in on a press, you've got to go in all together. So if the forwards go in, then the midfield has to back up, and then your back four has to back up. What's happened with Arsenal a lot is their front players have gone into press, but their midfield players haven't engaged the midfield players at Chelsea. And Chelsea have been able to play out through the press, which then puts your back four under a lot of pressure. So I can understand what Arsenal are trying to do, but there's a lot of work to be done on the training pitch, because you've got great movement of Chelsea, very good players who are comfortable on the ball, and they're quite happy to receive the ball under pressure and play out. But if you press 3 yards away from a Chelsea player, you're going to get ripped apart.
Yeah, work to be done, as you said. And this was a free header for Rudiger, wasn't it, from the Fabregas corner kick?
Yeah, it was, and I feel a little bit for Emil Smith Rowe here, because he's against Rudiger and he just gets pinned in behind, and you question centre half against the young boy. I think I'd want to see one of my most powerful headers going up and marking against.
You kind of want one of the experienced players to say, you come in the space here. Mustafa should have turned around and said to Emil Smith Rowe, come in the space, I'll mark him. He's too strong for him. He's a young boy. He's learning his trade, and to come up against a powerful centre half like that, it's very difficult, and you can see what happens. And that's what's happened. He's got a yard on him. I think David Luiz has kind of turned around and blocked him slightly. And he's got his 3 yards that he needed, Rudiger. And it's a powerful header. And it's a good header. And I think, going on the game, they deserved it. Chelsea started really well.
It's a great learning curve, though, for Arsenal, in terms of this is where you need leaders out on the pitch, because it's no good that the manager then puts your setup out on the pitch. But if you see something wrong from a set play, you've got to have that authority out on the pitch to say, right, I'm going to swap with you. I'm going to take responsibility and make that switch. And that will be interesting to see how that develops for Arsenal as well.
This could have been goal number 2 against Arsenal tonight, and it's what you're talking about. It's Arsenal not operating as a unit.
No, this is what we're talking about. Look at the press here. And it's Emil Smith to start with, but it's not tight enough. Look at the space there. I think that's Guendouzi there. He's got to go right in, and if need be,